Start a new game. Random races, yes. Leave it up to fate, yes. 25 years, yes. Classic theme, yes. We're gonna be custom. We need to come up with a custom title for our character. I think this might help your guys' creative juices flow. So we need a custom title. Our title is going to be what people refer to us as when they are referring to us as queen or king. So it'll be like, your royal word, right? So we're basically playing like Mad Libs right now. Dude, Kurt, sure, we could do dude. It could be like bruh, it could be boy, it could be like pop, it could be dipshit. Could be dipshit. Yes, we could name them dipshit. We could go with royal. We could go with rat. We could go with milady. We could go with lightning. We could go with hernia. Rubber. Supreme. I kind of like Supreme, actually. Supreme is pretty funny. I'm gonna go with Supreme because that's just funny, and we could go anywhere with that. Let's try Supreme. Replacement. Supreme cheese. No, just Supreme. So now our preferred word for encounters. You'd normally be referred to as Lord, Lady, or Thady, or Milord, or Milady. So we have to make sure that it fits, right? So something that would fit with Supreme. So Supreme. Preem? I kind of like Preem. Preem is pretty funny. Mapreem. Superior? Ooh, Superior could work. Cheese? We could go with cheese. Is this just gonna become a cheese run? You know we get to name the kingdom, right? Soup? Ooh, that's also pretty good.
Cheese for everyone!
Everyone? Really? That's a lot of cheese, man. I don't think you really understand the connotations of cheese for everyone. I think... So the game will automatically put M apostrophe or add a Y onto the end. You vote cheese? Curd? Ooh. Okay, if it's cheese, then our name has to be Curd. Yeah, we're just gonna go with cheese. Cheesy still works. This is oh boy. For encounters, where you'd normally be referred to as Mr., Mrs., or person. So, a word for encounter. Senor. The senor works. I want it to be like lactose, but you lactose. Oh no. I don't think I can put a space in this. It might break it. No, old hockey thighs. Runner? That's. I think senior is a winner. I'm with MacBody here. I'm liking senior. So let's go SENOR. Okay, so now the hard bit. We need to make a name. What do we name this person? Supreme Cheese Senior. Shit. This game is essentially Mad Lib's. Okay, let me give another brief description of this while you guys come up with something that we name ourselves. This is Warsim. It's on Steam. It's like $7 right now. It's 40% off. It's normally like $11 or something. It's text-based Mad Lib's Mountain Blade. That's what this. Dude, just Bree. Bree's real good. Bree's real good. Bree is really good. Ricotta's also pretty good. Okay, let's make our own name. Bree. Do you want to make your own kingdom name or have one randomly generated? Obviously, we need to make our own kingdom name. What kind of question is that? Beefcake, thanks for the 10-pack. We haven't even started yet. What's going on? But thank you. You got hockey thighs in there. Hell yeah. Look at that. I know most of those names. Good shot. Well, only like one or two of those are brand new. So cheers. Thanks for the 10-pack. You're very kind. So I can't actually make it. I can't use colons, dashes, underscores, or anything, or it'll so your kingdom name is your save file. So if I do things that would break like Windows saving for a text file, then the game can't load it. So like it'll let you do that, but you won't be able to load your save file. Milk? Ugh. Quaesidonia! Okay. That's a winner. Quaesidonia?
Cheese for everyone!
For everyone! Unless somebody can come up with something better, I think this is a winner. The Legend of Quaesidonia. We're rolling with it. We're just gonna go normal difficulty because I'm not a sadist and I'm actually pretty bad at this game. All right. You are the ruler of the kingdom of Quaesidonia, once a great and mighty empire fighting against a little rebellion of Faradal the Kingslayer, and the hordes of bandits loyal to Fëanor, the overlord of the bandit horde, as well as several minor bandit gangs who used to pester your lands. The world is vast and complex, and there is much to see and little time to waste. From the fabled ancient lands to the blood-soaked arena, these lands call to be united under the flag of Quaesidonia, because hail fucking taking over people's homelands. What's up, Ransom? And now the game generates stuff for us. But the locals know it as the true name, Quaesidonia. Yes, naturally. And everybody else calls it Quaesidonia. It's Queso. The world is full of mystery and wonder, and there are many peoples in this world. They are men, action implings, masked. Oh, by the way, this game has, it's like 96 billion possible races you could have. I'm scared about these Eldritch Spark Orcs, but anyway, they are men, action implings, It's like Action Jack. Masked ogres and eldritch spark orcs, lesser ogres, savage trench thul, okay, goblins and demons. The two normal ones. So now is more hard stuff. The annals of history remember well your rise to the throne. How did it happen? My father was clearly the previous ruler and was assassinated. Or, my father was the previous ruler and died of old age. Or, my father was the previous ruler and turned mad and was jailed. Or, I won the throne in a bet. That's a bad one and really fucking hard. I've tried it. And won the throne in a bet with the previous ruler. I am a bandit warlord and took the throne with my mighty bandit army. I stole the throne with demonic trickery to serve the overlord. Also done that one. It's something. I pulled a fabled sword from the stone. Cool. My father's a village elder and inherited the throne by accident. My enslaved forces were able to overthrow the previous ruler. I also did that one. It's also very hard. I won the throne in a tournament to find the new ruler by strength. I led a slave revolt and overthrew the slavers who ruled previously. Or it's a long story. Or take a random option. I'm not joking, the long story is actually a really long story and we'll be here for like an hour. It just kind of keeps going. I've never actually done the slave revolt one. I'm kind of leaving the slave revolt. Several people in chat seem to want the slave revolt. I've never done the slave revolt. It would be kind of funny. Big cheese of like supreme cheese of Quaesidonia led a slave revolt against the burger overlords or whatever. Yeah, I think we're going 11. Okay, so we led a slave revolt to overthrow the slavers who ruled. Your memories of your youth are hazy, but before you were fully into adulthood, you were captured in a slave raid and taken into a cold northern fortress, being used as a massive slave camp. Here, you were beaten and made to work for cruel masters alongside of thousands of other slaves like yourself. And in time, in the fort, you noticed occasionally the armory would be left largely unattended. One day, you convinced several other slaves to rush the armory, and all the slavers were in the courtyard. When all the slavers were in the courtyard, your plan went off without a hitch, and the armory guards were quickly killed, and soon almost every slave in the fort was armed and angry. Turn it up to 11, damn right. The newly armed forces made short work of the slavers' garrison and killed their old overlords. Some slaves fled, but most stayed united under you to march on to the slaver kingdom, Quaesidonia, who owned the slavers' fort. I wonder if this means I'm going to own the slavers' fort, because there's in one of the areas you can explore is the slavers' fort. And I wonder if it's either, actually, no, it'll probably just be destroyed. Probably just destroyed. You love the ASCII, if you like the ASCII military, wait until you see the faces. Like that. Or I guess that, because I'm at the other end of the screen. I'm used to being over there, not here. Whatever. And the cheese shall set us free, damn right. The garrison of Quaesidonia were caught off guard and quickly overwhelmed by your ex-slave army. With Quaesidonia captured, you were crowned ruler, with many of the ex-slavers pledging to remain with you as your new army of free men. Half of your soldiers and peasants have deserted and joined the rebels. Awesome. 10 people like us, though. 2,000 ex-slave soldier units for your army, 3,000 ex-slave units for your army, and the slavers' fort was destroyed in the fighting. Okay. That's us, by the way. That's Supreme Cheese. By the way. The Grand Ruler's Supreme Cheese. That is us. You are invited to the royal crowning ceremony where you can learn of your newly inherited realm. Of course, you are the ruler of this kingdom and can also ignore the ceremony completely. We will go to the ceremony. That's very quiet. Also, for anybody who's ever used the woohoo command that I have for tier 2 and patrons, That sound effect is ripped directly out of this game. They will die like the slavers they am. Absolutely, yes. You enter what is your throne room. What is now your throne room. For the first time, there are small crowds of people who are gathered to see their new supreme. Oh boy, this is my life now. As you take a moment to observe the room, the High General of Quaesidonia approaches. So you always start with this guy. It's always General Gorhin Pikner, and he kind of sucks. Greetings to you. I hope you are well. My cheese. I need to try this again. Greetings to you. I hope you are well, my cheese. Thank you. I shall crown you as the one true supreme of Quaesidonia. You gained this title by combat as your slave revolt fought into the capital and killed our previous ruler. You rule now surrounded by foes, but I am not one of them. Not true. You are now supreme of Quaesidonia. Long may you reign. Reign. Yes. Long may you reign. I always play the most interesting games. Yeah. I try. Now, as our questionably minded ancestors once did, bring the slap-ready goblin. By the way, it's always, so the crowning ceremonies always have some random thing that they do as part of like making you into the whatever the ruler is. So I don't know what the slap-ready goblin is, but I guess we're about to find out. Our goblin walks into the throne room and is informed you will be slapping him. The goblin leans forward and waits expectantly. You slap the goblin. Rename him to Gorgonzola? I don't think I can rename people. Wagner says, and grins, good slap! And that brings our ceremonious ceremony to an end, says the general. I mean, I need a slap-ready goblin in my pantry. Damn right. Now you will no doubt wish to know the state of the realm. Quaesidonia's 5 territorial holdings make us a threat to others. The kingdom's personal army consists of 3,000 peasant workers and 2,000 soldiers, and 5 loyal knights who serve your cause. That's not bad. Now, that's all for the military matters. The realm's finances and the kingdom has a total of 2,000 gold in its coffers, which is insignificant, but there is an additional 1,195 additional gold in the bank. My Supreme, now that you are crowned, you may speak to the old Kroll if you wish for any tutoring on matters of the realm. If you are unsure of what to do, I would highly recommend it. Though, if you would like to discuss it later, you may do so by returning to the throne room. We shall speak to the old Kroll. And the old Kroll says, welcome, my cheese. Prepare yourself for some good old tutoring. Now, firstly, I must ask you, ask how you'd prefer me to explain these things. I could give you a full explanation with every detail, a fair explanation with less of the relevant detail, or, if you so wish, a version so simple a mere child could comprehend it. Well, I am clearly a child, so I will take the simple version. And this is the tutorial of the video game. Explore menu, do things, you win. Got it. Top menu, show gold, show lands is help. Hire men, fight men, you win. Hire mercs, kill enemies, and you win. Hire staff work, and you win. Make friends trade, you win. Make laws, imprison everyone, also win. Buy buildings and use them, and you win. Hire steward, ignore throne room, and you win. Bet gold, buy, your guy wins, and you win. That's the fight bit. The Royal Bank, store gold, save and grow, you win. Although it can get robbed, and you can attack the bank and steal more money back. Build buildings, visit them, and you win. Read reports, understand more, and you win. Explore land, discover all, and you win. End turn, invade enemy, you win. Well, cheers, Beefcake. It's very kind of you. And it's very nice to see Island Life back with the subscription and ad-free viewing. A palm print. I mean, honestly, that is up for you to imagine, right? Like, this game is, like I said earlier, it's basically just like Mad Libs, right? So that is up to you to imagine in your own mind, and I couldn't give you the answer to that. I am done with this stupid tutorial. Very well. Take care, my cheese. And now we're in the game. So I have 5,005 duders. We've got 5 lands, 10 public opinion, which is pretty bad, and 25 years remaining in our reign until the game ends. There's 22 people waiting in the throne room to visit us. We can explore it 3 times. So I'm gonna go, and we are actually let's start off by going to the throne room. Welcome to your throne room. Here you can deal with visitors from across your realm and beyond. As time goes, you may find a number of visitors swelling to huge lines, unless they hate you, and then you'll get like none. As a ruler, you may choose to deal with every last visitor, but if the task becomes too monotonous, you can look into hiring a steward. Stewards will deal with any visitors left unseen by you by the end of the turn. Be careful with who you hire to be your steward, though. Stewards can have a number of different traits. Xenophobe, they will be unfavorable to any non-humans. Dungeoneer will imprison most throne room visitors. Kind-hearted, they will always act with kindness. Military, they will always recruit hireable visitors. Goblin friend will always be nice to goblin visitors. And money grubber, they will never spend any money. That's usually me. All right, you enter your throne room and take your place on the throne of Quaesidonia. You are told that there is a little line of 22 people waiting to see you. You are visited by a traveling bard who asks to play you a song on his lute. I am an expert musician, he says. I shall play you a very short song. Well, ads are running, so clearly I can't wreck everybody with playing a very short song. So we will wait a minute and 30 seconds and then play a very short song. But yeah, this is Warsim. Warsim's a goofy as hell game, and I do recommend you guys check this game out if it's even remotely interesting to you, because the dev's just a genuinely awesome dude. One of my favorite things about this guy is the last time I talked to him, and we did a little interview a while ago, right? And he was just like, I'm like, well, tell people where to get your game. He goes, I don't know, Steam, Itch, Pirate Bay. I don't care. It's probably up there on Pirate Bay. And then I was just like, really? And he's just like, yeah, no, I don't care. Also, like, if you can't afford it, just DM me on Twitter and I'll send you a key. So, the guy who makes this game's a cool dude. Definitely one worth supporting, I would say. If they hate you, they won't visit. Wish that worked with my family. Oi. It's harsh. Yeah, it's probably going to be like literally a quarter of a second this song he's going to play. All right, we all through ads, chat? You have a good night, Bastet. Let's listen to this song. Yay, hobo. What'd you think of that performance, chat? That was horrible. I'm kind of with you. 4. That was acceptable. Horrible, horrible. Okay, we'll go 3. Horrible. The bard looks at you blankly. You are visited by another traveling... Oh, no, this is the same bard. We'll allow him to leave the court. Send in the next visitor. You are visited by an armed man who says he will join your army for a fee of 6 gold. That's a good price. I will take him. to get a soldier. You are visited by a mud-covered gambler who claims one of your soldiers broke his fence and seeks reparations for the broken fence, saying it was passed down by his family for generations. Just remember, chat, we did just release all of the slaves, so it would be kind of weird to start randomly imprisoning people. But, like, to the dungeons with him, I suppose. +1 prisoner. The mud-covered gambler goes, "No, I'm sorry. Please don't. Please don't." It gets carried away. You're visited by a disgruntled merchant who says, "You know, now I'm here in front of you. I'm drawing a blank on what I wanted to say." Okay, so, "You try my patience! Time waste, kill him!" Followed by, "Well, I hope you remember it another time. Farewell," or send him to the dungeon or remove him from court. Merchants are sus. Everybody's sus. This guy's only got 1 pupil. It's also pretty sus. Hope you remember it another time. Farewell. Man leaves your court. Next one. You are visited by a tavern goer who enters the throne room flustered with 3 boys to boot. What? And he says, "These no good little bastards have been eating my food and wasting time on my farm for far too long. They're old enough to fight, so send them off to do some war. Turn them into men and take them from me. Cold coin ahead. I want them gone." That's actually a cheap cost for presents. Like, that's a really good price. I kind of want to throw him in the jail, though. I'm noticing a trend with you, Mac Buddy. Everyone's sus. So unrelated to literally anything, Mac Buddy, but you keep saying sus, so I'm gonna tell a quick story. While you guys decide which one we go with. The first place I got vaccinated for COVID-19 was in a place that used to be a Best Buy before it closed down. And there was a massive ASUS sign in there, right? In this like big old waiting area where you'd sit down after you got your stab. You'd sit down, and then there was like, it was this huge waiting area with like space between everything. And there was this coloring table at the far end, right? Sound back, you too, hobo. And anyway, there's a sign above it that said ASUS, but the A was missing, so it just said sus. And right beneath the sus sign was a, like, just coloring stuff for kids. So little kids that were, like, with parents or whatever could, like, doodle. And they were all drawing, because it said sus there, all these little kids were just drawing Among Us guys, so the entire fucking place was covered in Among Us dudes. And there was big signs everywhere saying no photos. I wish I could have taken a photo of that. That was an unironic, like, insult somebody said to me during a stream a couple days, like a week or so ago, was, "You sound vaccinated." Anyway, very funny. But, all right, so we're gonna pay the 3 gold and take the kids. That's 3 soldiers for 3 gold, that's a great deal. Send in the next guest. You are visited by a northern stick collector who claims one of your soldiers chopped down his apple tree and made off with the contents. He wants 23 bucks. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out. No, that's totally fine, Mac Body. I'm on your side. I agree. We'll eventually go evil. Like, I always pick up a trend with it whenever I do runs of this game, and it slowly gets dumber as it goes. It means alive. This is true. Also, I mean, to be honest, if you're alive and you live in the Western world, you've probably had, like, at the very least, a mumps and measles vaccine at some point, so. Collect this stick, Lamau got him, and I agree. Let's go with 2. The Northern Stick Collector, he says, "Well, I have one thing to say." Then he opens his mouth and burps. Then he leaves. Word gets out to your soldiers that they can do as they wish. -1 in public opinion. Well, that's good. Yeah, you've probably had polio vaccine. Like, everybody's vaccinated to a degree. Not necessarily, like, recent ones, but... All right, moving on. You were visited by a traveling jester who says, "Hello, I have been saving my best joke. Would you like to hear it?" Naturally. I don't like the king's newly minted gold coins. But I guess I just hate all change. How do you feel about that joke, chat? But, accurate, yes. Slow clap. That was an okay joke. The man nods and leaves. You are visited by a smelly wood gatherer who claims one of your soldiers threatened him, and he seeks reparations and a promise that it will not happen again. 2 gold's cheap, why not? +1 public opinion, gotta fix the one from previous. You order reparations to be paid, and the gold is accepted, and then this smelly wood gatherer jumps up and down happily and then skips out of your throne room with a hop in his step. Gotta balance our crimes from earlier. You are visited by a stick collector who, there's a lot of stick collectors here, who claims to have come in possession of a magical fruit. He claims it can be fed to soldiers to make them stronger and asks for 10 gold for it. Damn right, we'll take the fruit. We get 1 blue tree fruit. The stick collector hands you a fruit and takes his gold and then leaves. You have it taken away and put in storage. Beans. No, it's blue tree fruit. You are visited by a smith who says, despite a dispute needs to be settled. A little child stole my forging hammer and broke it. His father is a known local thug, and there's little chance of recourse unless someone like you gets involved. Buy yourself another hammer and leave me out of it. The smith holds up a scroll and says, this scroll said you were kind and would freely see each visitor. And then he balls it up and throws it on the floor before leaving. I mean, you are visited by an armed man who says he will serve in the army for 21 gold. That's too much money. Too rich for my blood. You are visited by a guard. Your guards bring forward a man accused of trying to spread the message of anarchy. Ask him to explain himself. A supreme will do as they does, he says. Ask the arresting guard for his statement. The guard informs you, he is the most guilty man I have ever seen. What do we do? I like anarchy. That's true. Where did the scroll come from? This stream is not sponsored by Blue Jew, fortunately. Boom, Jaha. I don't know. I say paint walls do crimes. Like, Kind of want to execute him. I love how you guys are just like innocent people to the dungeons. With this guy, it's like nobody wants to execute him, even though he's like the most guilty man he's ever seen. I'm executing him. The man does not flinch. Someone is playing Funky Town outside. I was like, is that... Yep, somebody in this building is playing Funky Town. The man does not flinch, and he is quickly killed on the spot. And the general bandit level has gone down by -1, and public opinion has gone up by 2. Awesome. Sending that, we got 10 left. You are visited by a goblin who says, me am Jester. You want laugh? What do you think, chat? You want laugh? We could sell them. Okay, let's listen to the goblin's joke. Me try to make friends with humans, but they just run away and scream. Me think they scared of little goblin. He seems to be awaiting a response to the joke. I just would like to remind you all of the irony of us being, like, the uprise, like, we overcame the slaves in the slaving fort, and a bunch of you are saying 5. You guys want me to give them 20 bucks? Okay. Goblin grins, bows, and dashes away. A gambling man arrives in your court and asks if you'll flip coins for a wager. Let's flip for a bet. Let's flip it all for 120 gold. Chat, heads or tails? Yeah, you kind of have to RP with it just a little bit, in my opinion, because then it forces you to do certain things. But that's just me. Chat's saying tails? Tails. Tails never fails? Tails? Okay. Sonic wouldn't agree, but the coin lands on tails and you win. Wow. Plus 240 gold. Neat. Easy. Made all of our money back. Tails are execute. Rude. The gambling man says, curses! I lost. Well, goodbye then. You are visited by a guard who needs some gold to repair a small makeshift watchtower. His unit has been using to protect the woodlands. We just won a bunch of money, so I'll give him the money. You order the gold to be paid immediately. The gold is accepted, and the farmer jumps up and down happily, and then skips off out of your throne room and with a hop in his step. We just got conned. You are visited by a traveling bard who asks to play a song for you on his elven lute. I'm a decent musician. I shall play you a very short song. I hope he goes boozing and comes back. He might actually, which is funny. Naturally, I would like to hear this. First, let's ask his name. The bard reveals his name to be Baldfirth. Okay. Let's listen to the song. The bard nods and prepares to play a song for you. I had a pretty good slap in it. Baldfarth the bard, yep. That was absolutely shocking. Split as the song as his people, yep. Chat seems to be pretty split. It had more structure. It actually sounded like almost half of a riff. What is that animation you just saw? An elf playing on a lute. Definitely. Nothing else. You know what? I'm seeing a bunch of 4s. Let's go with 4. The bard nods in gratitude, and I'm going to request him play again. But the bard declines to play anymore, but thanks you for hosting him. We could hire him, or I could ask him to leave. I'm going to ask him to leave. You are visited by a scarred townsman who claims one of your soldiers stole a gold coin from him while sleeping. Right, yes, loot, definitely. Give him the coin, why not? You order reparations to be paid, the gold is accepted, and then the scarred townsman leaves and says, thank you so much. You are visited by an insane man who says, the maggot will forever squirm, but tastes much nicer than the worm. What do? This game needs Twitch integration. So, it's literally in terminal. Just for clarity's sake. This game runs in terminal. Chat says to thank him for his words. Okay. The man smiles and says, you are too kind, my cheese. This is greatly appreciated. 4 people left. You are visited by a goblin who says, ma come to tell you a joke. Ma come to tell you joke. Okay, well listen to joke. Me see human bard play music. Me prefer my own goblin singing. Much more entertaining. Seems to be awaiting your response. Okay, well, I guess we really like goblins here. The goblin smiles and then runs away screaming. 3 people waiting. You were visited by an old woman who claims to be the mother of one of your dead soldiers, as she had come on hard times and can no longer afford to eat. Yeah, no, this game's very and also the developer literally responds to every single review. And if it's like negative, it's like legitimate, like takes the feedback well, and if it's positive, he's like, smile. Although I've actually seen him like offer to give people PayPal refunds if they've played too much time before, which is interesting. You are visited by an old woman who claims to be the mother of one of your dead soldiers. She'd come on hard times and can no longer afford to eat. They have food in the dungeon. I mean, you do have a valid point. Guess I'm sending her to the dungeon. Rumors of your cruelty spread. -1 public opinion. The woman curses you as she is taken away. 2 people are left. You are visited by an armed bandit who said he will fight for you for a fee of 32 gold. Fuck off. Go to prison. Like, no. You were visited by a befouled traveler who claims one of your soldiers stole an apple from a tree on his land. No. All right. There is no one here. We can leave. So now, manage staff and champions. Let's go to diplomacy. Let's see who our neighbors are. So let's go. We're going to take a peek at the Quaesidonia militia. You call forth the head of the Sir Gothner the Shameful, who arrives eager to hear what you have to say. I can give the militia order. Okay, let's check our stats. Sir Gothrer the Shameful has 52 militia troops for the realm of Quaesidonia, 18 gold per militiaman, and they're inactive and will not get involved, and they are equipped with sticks, pitchforks, and old tools, and okay, so our leader has a perk. What is the militia? That's a good question. I think this is new since I last played. The militia is a group of loosely organized peasants from your realm that can be ordered to help your own troops defend your lands, or to stay out of the way. When hiring peasants from the Hire Troops menu, you are hiring from the militia. Interesting. If you hire them all, the militia temporarily disbands until more men join. Once hired to your army, the peasants will work the fields and produce income. Once hired to your own army, the peasants will work the fields and produce income for you and can be used in battle and will automatically defend your lands. Interesting. Militia are currently pledged to stay out of military affairs. Ask the militia to get involved in more defensive actions. Okay, we'll just leave them as they are right now. We're going to go... Oh, the Goblin Slaver is named Gimli. That's interesting. Let's go to the independent territories. Your diplomat brings you a list of all of the known independent kingdoms. You may look into each of them and learn their race, culture, and lore, as well as to conduct the diplomacy. Conduct diplomacy with them. So we've got the communities of Ren, which is who we're at war with. Your head diplomat, Old Crow, tells you that the diplomatic action with the communities of Ren is not possible due to their unintelligent and savage nature, and confirms that they dislike us and see us as an enemy. They are the Action Implings, and they have 5,562 units. Their leader is Master Drawn the Armorer, and they are the communities of Ren. They're the Action Implings. Yeah, I think our goal should be to free all goblin slaves. That should be a goal for this. Let's see their troop tree. So they have 26 battle scores, 72 battle score, and armored implings. Action armored implings, which is 104 gap battle score, versus us. Okay, so they are weak, like real weak. My soldiers are 100 battle score. Yeah, no, we could. Okay, although they do have a lot of armored implings, though. Okay. Well, we can leave there. Well, actually, let's jump back in there. Let's look at their leader information. Okay, he's stronger than a normal soldier, but he's stupid. Looks kind of like a gerblin with a tiny little crown on his head. Everybody loves a good old stupid personality. We're gonna go look at the voivodeship of the masked ogres. They're independent. Your head diplomat tells you that the diplomatic action with the voivodeship of the masked ogres is not possible due to their lack of civility and savage nature. However, he confirms they seem to tolerate us. We can see their leader information. He's stronger than a knight and stupid. Got it. They're pretty strong. The Timeless Circle. They are run by Master Narog the Shallow, and they are the Eldritch Spark Orcs. Diplomatic action with them is not possible due to their unintelligent, savage nature. I'm noticing a trend. The Timeless Circle is made up of 3,226 troops. They are led by Master Gnarog the Shallow, known for their brutish appearance and protruding tusked orcs are powerful race of warriors. Its people are weird, unworldly, and sinister. Their appearance is uncanny, and people are said to host a small electrical energy in their skin. They believe in hate and suffering, and are considered by many to be a force of evil in the world. They are a group of unintelligent savages, and their famed symbol is that. Well, okay. Holy shit. Okay, so do not go end up in... Are we at war with these guys? I hope not. Well, shit, we're at war with them. Let's look at their troop tree. So their basic dudes have 126, their warriors have 605, and their highest tier is 1,570. And I can't talk to them? Oh boy. Who are they enemies with? Hopefully we can be friends with the savage Trench Cthulhu. Oh boy. So there's the Orange tribe. Where's Orange? Your head diplomat tells you that diplomatic action with them is not possible. They're lesser ogres. Once again, I'm discussing a trend. I'm discovering a trend. The Savage Trench Cthulhu tells you diplomatic action with them. So this is like a very easy method of income normally. You trade with the local tribes, and they give you soldiers and money. However, they're all too stupid to know what trading is. Great. Yeah, the old Kroll is not helping. So what we're going to do is we're going to go fire the old Kroll. Manage staff. We're going to fire him. I'm fired? Yeah, well, takes one to know one. Try that for diplomacy. All right, let's hire a new diplomat. 3 potential... head diplomats are sent to your court. You may speak to each one of them and learn their skills and talents. Okay, so we start off with Skevik the Goblin. Greetings, my name is Skevik the Goblin. I'm not going to do that voice any longer. I can only last for like 4 words. I am a master of the realm of diplomacy. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. I require a payment of 188 gold per year. Not bad. This person is a goblin, thus can speak to goblin tribes. 1. Smuggart the Goblin. Hello, my name is Smuggart the Goblin. I once helped a kingdom convince their enemies to war with each other. I'm also quite funny if you get to know me. I beg for pay of 111 gold per year. This goblin can speak to goblins. Okay. And then Gathis the Headstrong. Hi, I am Gathis the Headstrong. I am an expert in the realm of diplomacy. I desperately need this job. I blew my money in the fight pits. I require payment of $108 per year. At least he's honest. He's actually pretty good. That's the funny bit. We're gonna take Skivik the Goblin, I think. Although I think Gathis the Headstrong is probably the best deal. But It's usually what's happened. That's usually what happens to me, to be honest with you, Oba. We're gonna take a Skibbick the Goblin. Because being able to talk to goblins is actually really good. We're gonna hire him. All right. Speak with you. General's wages, general skill. I'm going to fire Goran Peckner. This is bad news. It would be a shame if your military secrets made it to your enemies. Well, goodbye. I hire a new high general. All right, so these are our options. Kurhark the Dastard, Dumbledoo, the salivating Paramitigird, okay, or Mazor the enigmatic Outrider. I like that last one sound, but let's take a look at these. Greetings, I am Kurhark the Dastard. I was once considered one of the greater generals of the land. If you hire me, I'll go and join. If you don't hire me, I'll go and join your enemies. I require a payment of 104 gold per year. You seem loyal. Dumbledoo. Greetings, I am Dumbledoo, the salivating Paramitigird. I am a fairly decent general. I will improve your kingdom to have me. It will improve your kingdom to have me at your side for 148 gold per year. Okay, so skill. Wow, you suck. Okay. Mazor, the enigmatic Outrider. Greetings, I am Mazor, the enigmatic Outrider. My father was one of the greater generals in the realm. It would be my pleasure to fight for you. I will, if you pay me 107 gold per year. I guess we're hiring the Dastard. Dumbledoo is really bad, yes. Does have a funny name, though. Which I always respect. Yeah, and you can train them. Which means I could just take the cheap... Well, actually, the best one is also the cheapest one. So, like, there's no reason not to take the Dastard. And I also want to hire a Spy Master. 3 potential Spy Masters are sent to your court. You may speak to each of them. We're stuck in ads, so I will wait. You're already picking number 1? I gotta read their descriptions first. Come on, don't jump ahead of things. Also, I've got almost 50 hours in this game. Oh boy. All right, so this is for Spy Master. Myrotus, the Eternal Crusade is our first one that we're gonna check, which will be in 30 seconds after the ads are finished. All right, let's read the first one. I am Myrotus, the Eternal Crusade. I'm pretty decent at the art of spying. You'd be stupid not to hire me. You will pay me 96 gold per year. Okay, so he's got a skill of 95. Well, my name is Henknath, the Bizarre Wanderer. I'm highly regarded by kings and queens of the realm. For my work, I will serve you as loyally as I can and require a pay of 184 gold per year. Okay, well, not much, like, not much better for significantly higher pay. Oh boy. Hello, my name is Braith the Brittle Bones. I was once discovered that the king's son had been replaced by an evil wizard. It made for quite awkward feasts. If you don't hire me, I'll kill myself. I hate it. I demand payment of 260 gold per year. Wait, that got dark. Accurate. Well, he does have the highest skill. That did get dark. Wow. I don't want any of them. Like, the last one's too expensive. But, like, I don't want the brittle bones to die. Let's execute him on the spot. It's something like that. I do need the. I mean, I think I can execute people I hire. Go big or go home. It's a lot of fucking money for a spy master. So we don't super need a spy master right now, so we'll just wait. Okay. Rest in peace, I suppose. All right. So let's go do the exploring. So we've got 4 locations and then the new ones. So I'm gonna go to the new ones and explore a little bit because I'm curious about the lands beyond. The lands beyond are a term used to refer to all of the distant places that lie beyond the realm. Travel these far-flung places, but do not expect to find them once you've left them. Okay, so this is the new shit that's in this version of the game. So I gotta try it. You find a large rock with a painted message on it. It says, "Pure shields are a bunch of cowards." You find a wandering group of 21 masterless peasants. Their leader steps forward and says he and his men will join you for no less than 36 gold each. Nah, I'm good. We try the last one. You notice a small mound with a large hole in it poking up out of the ground. You could swear you hear some humming coming out of the hole. What do we do? Chat's saying 1, look inside the hole. We'll look inside the hole. You peek into the hole and you're surprised, and a surprised man says, "Greetings, invader. You there, will you join my realm? Pay me a tax for your little residence here. I am supreme." I didn't realize how good that would end up being. I am supreme. Tell me who you are and what you are doing here. What is this place? Are there any others here? And guards, kill them! Oy. Chat wants to know what he is and what he's doing here. Who are you and what you do? I am a humble hole dweller. I was raised in a village of dirt and then given a small shovel when I turned 18. And told not to go dig my own hole. Okay, so we know what he's doing here. I kind of want to ask him to join my realm. You there, will you join my realm? The man nods and says, "Hey, serving you beats living in a hole in the middle of nowhere. Am I right?" We have another peasant. I can now call out to the hole? You call it to the hole, but hear nothing back. You look in the hole and find a sleeping rag and some crude pots. Order the hole to be filled by your men. Your men quickly fill the hole with dirt and seal it up. The fact that we could have just done that with a dude in there is hysterical to me. All right, well, that happened. Now we can go and go back to arranging diplomacy. Let's see if I can talk to any of these independent territories now. Voivodeship of Masked Ogres. Your head diplomat tells you that diplomatic action with the Voivodeship of Masked Ogres is not possible. Great. I want to know about the Timeless Circle, though. 2, Kingdom information. The Timeless Circle is made up of 3,000 troops and is led by Master Narog the Shallow, known for their brutish appearance and protruding... I already did read this one. That's the Elder Spark Orcs. The tribe of Savage Trench Cthulhu. Your head diplomat tells you that the diplomatic action with them is not possible due to their intelligent, savage nature. Great. Well, let's read their kingdom information. The tribe of Savage Trench Cthulhu are made up of 636 troops and are led by Chieftain Izuguragroxthi of the Skystone. Known as a race of squid men from a place unseen by any but themselves. Its people are savages, and its people live among the vast network of trenches. They are a group of unintelligent savages, and their famed words are me, woo, you, me. Okay, cool. Interesting. Well, on the bright side, we can speak with the goblins now. Speak with the Goblin Kingdom of Krut. They have 375 goblins, and they have King Ulak. Ulak confidence in this. About the Kingdom of Krut. The Kingdom of Krut is one of the 2 largest goblin clans on the land, rival to the Kingdom of Eric, and vast in number, and they are known for their tribal nature. King Ulak is the ruler of the Kingdom of Krut. Known to be a harsh ruler, he climbed through the ranks of Krut fast after making a name for himself as a warlord, and soon after making his way to the upper circle of the tribal politics, he became their king. Since taking over power, Ulak has grown the Krut from a small alliance of tribes to a fast-growing regional power. He is considered a harsh ruler and is said to hide away in his tower, entertaining only close allies. Let's view their relation. Well, let's visit the Great Krut Totem. The Great Goblin Totem is an ancient relic of the Kingdom of Krut, said to guide the kingdom of matters in war. Beautiful. Gaze upon the Grand Totem. But I still can't talk to them. Let's talk with Gimli the Goblin Slayer. You invite the local goblin slaver Gimli, the Goblin Slaver, to your throne room to discuss business. I mean, let's talk to him first. What would you like to know, my supreme? Who are you? I am Gimli, the Goblin Slaver. I capture and sell goblins for profit. What makes you different from other goblin slavers? My goblins are taller and able to work for in their fields for you. What do goblin slavers think of me in general? You aren't seen as anything other than a potential buyer. Why are you a goblin slaver? We are bigger and stronger than them. You don't think we would be in cages if the green rats were bigger? Welcome to life. About Gimli the Goblin Slaver. Gimli the Goblin's... okay. Well, we're gonna execute him by popular demand. You order Gimli the Goblin Slaver to be executed, and as soon as the order is done, you now have no one selling goblin slaves, and other goblin slavers are cautious. Now finding a goblin slaver is twice as rare, and minus 20 reputation with goblin slavers. There is currently no goblin slaver. Just gonna back away from the adventurers from right now. Let's go to... the laws of the land. Taxes and subsidies. Your scribe pulls out a scroll of taxes and subsidies and prepares to make amendments to it. I'm going to leave everything as is for right now for taxes. Recruitment and trading, goblin policies. How about we ban goblin slavery? I mean, we did just kill the slavers, so... A scribe notes down your demands on a scroll and hands off the action and heads off to action them. You have banned goblin slavery. The slavers have been jailed, and the slaves have been freed across your lands. 39 goblins have come to serve you out of gratitude. +2 public opinion. All goblin factions like you more now. Dude was selling dudes painted green. Wait, what? Where did it say that? Was that after I executed him? I completely missed that bit. Wow. Let's go to social policies. Oh, so that's why they were taller. Wow, that's horrible. Your scribe pulls out the scroll of social policies, and prepares to make amendments to it. Alms for the poor, which is expensive. Hire a love. I love this one. Hire a love cult to increase public order. It's just hire the love cult. Let's see, what else do we have? Crime policies. Close the prison, set all prisoners free, declare max execution law, declare rehabilitation law, or allow overzealous arrests. Well, I mean, we could force everyone to wear hats. I mean, doesn't do anything negative. I mean, you want me to force everyone to wear hats? We usually do that. Because why wouldn't you? All right. Scribe notes down your demands on scroll and heads off to action them. The people are upset at a loss of freedom, but are happy that they all have cool hats to wear. This is kind of balanced. Kind of balanced. Recruitment and training. I kind of want to declare forceful enlistment, but we'll see. Let's go to the arena. You enter the arena, a hub of entertainment in your kingdom. Here warriors come to battle, and quote the film Gladiator, and the locals pay to watch. The arena is owned by a local business person named Borin Demonflayer. Okay, the entry to watch a fight is 13 gold. We're gonna bet on a fight. I didn't look at the strength of the trench Cathuls. Shit. Homeless masked ogre champion or a savage trench Cthulhu. Oh boy, here we go. Two, clearly. I'm leaning two, but I have to wait for the thing to go through now that Hobo's done it. Hobo, I'm just gonna say, I don't think it's worth doing those for every single one of these. Maybe for, like the big tournaments, but there's 10 of these. Homeless and champion? Potentially. Maybe like the maybe just the champion fight. Oh yeah, that's true, just the first one. All right. All right, well, I'm going with the Savage Trench Cthulhu Master. I'm going to bet 653 gold coins. Crown chant in near unison while fighters emerge from the gates and pace towards each other. Weapons in hand, the crowd roars as the fighters near each other and the fight begins. Okay, well, the Savage Trench Cthulhu has a lot more health than the Homeless Masked Ogre Champion. Savage Trench Cthulhu Master takes a bow for the crowd. Wow. The Savage Trench Cthulhu Master swings swiftly and has an incredible strike on the Homeless Masked Ogre Champion. And I'm happy I bet on the Trench Cthulhu. The Homeless Masked Ogre Champion will never breathe again. The crowd cheers for the victorious Savage Trench Cthulhu Master. I know, right? How about jeez?
Hello, fair folk. Crypt Wave, thanks for the laughs and community blind. Have
Cheers.
really appreciated your content and chat.
Thank you
Crypt beer.
very much for the 8th month. Welcome back, dude. Thanks for helping us get that. I thought we said that we weren't. Wait. Oh, I see. Is this? Oh, I see what this is. Okay, so I can just dismiss that. You go pay the 13 gold fee to watch the fight, and someone had already paid it for me. So I can go with the Savage Trench Cthulhu or a Blessed Goblin. What do you think, chat? 1 or 2? And can we get some beers for our friend Paxmac? I'm also going with the Cthulhu, yeah. Let's go 1,500 on this one. The screams of the crowd echo all around as the fighters emerge from the gates. They stride closer as horns blow and the crowd roars. The Savage Trench Cthulhu blocks and manages to return a small strike against the Blessed Goblin. The Savage Trench Cthulhu gets a very good strike on the Blessed Goblin and kills the Blessed Goblin. Nobody's hit a Savage Trench Cthulhu yet. Blessed Goblin is vanquished by a better fighter, clearly. And the Savage Trench Cthulhu leaves. As he leaves, the crowd cheers and applauds the Savage Trench Cthulhu as he leaves victorious. All right, let's go again. We're making some money here. Bet on a fight. I'm going to say this is an easy bet. Lesser Ogre Champion versus a Homeless Soldier. They are Cthulhu-esque monsters, essentially. Basically, they're elder demons. I'm going to bet 2,000 on this. The gates slide open, and one of the fighters quickly dashes towards the other, ready to spill some blood. The crowd are ecstatic, and the crowd roars and cheers and echo for miles around. And the Lesser Ogre Champion and the Homeless Fire stop fighting to shake hands. And the Lesser Ogre Champion then swings and stabs the Homeless Soldier hard. And Homeless Soldier moves to avoid the hit, but it slips and takes some damage anyway and then dies almost immediately. These seem rigged. We make 3 grand. Let's go again. Ooh, this one's tricky. Brom the Hill Watcher or just a generic gladiator? You have a good time in class, Chiefin? Gladiator, you reckon? This could go either way. I don't know. I'm going to be cautious with this one and not bet. The crowd scream and shout as 2 warriors emerge and charge towards each other, intent to kill. There is much tension and the anticipation in the air. Yeah, looks like the gladiator is going to likely be the winner. The crowd cheer for the gladiator and chanting, "Keep it up, you can do it." The gladiator kicks the Hill Watcher over and stabs deeply into Brom the Hill Watcher's body. Crowd roar for the gladiator. Brom the Hill Watcher somehow manages to get a fast hit on the gladiator, and the gladiator swings, but misses by a wide margin. Crowd cheer loudly for Brom the Hill Watcher, but it wasn't meant to be as the gladiator hits him, gets a good hit in, and he's dead. The crowd applaud as the Hill Watcher dies. Oops, I just said watch a bet. I'll just run through this one. Let's bet again. A Goblin Berserker or a Homeless Lesser Ogre Brute? Let's go with the Goblin Berserker. I'll bet 50. The crowd roars as the 2 fighters emerge from either side of the arena, and march ever closer. The bloodthirsty crowd watch closely, awaiting the first blow. Okay. The homeless lesser ogre brute swings for the goblin berserker, but misses slightly. The goblin berserker kicks the homeless lesser ogre brute a little bit. And then the ogre blocks a strike from the goblin berserker. The goblin berserker gets hit by a bottle from the crowd. The goblin berserker shouts, "You knave, come here and die!" The ogre swings and stabs the goblin berserker. The ogre brute gets a huge hit on the goblin berserker, stabs the goblin in the chest, and then the gets parried, or is parrying with the goblin berserker for a moment. The ogre hits the goblin and then overkills him. I blame the crowd for that one, frankly. I lose 50 bucks. That's fine. We're going to bet again. A bandit versus pacifist bandit. I mean, I'm going to bet on the bandit, but I feel like this is a trap. I'm going to bet 1,000 on the bandit. The arena doesn't have 1,000 to bet. Oh, the most I can bet is 8. Let's do 8, 9, 7 then. The gates slide open and the fighters quickly dash towards the other, ready to spill some blood, but one not so much. The crowd are ecstatic and the cheers and roars of the crowd echo for miles around. The fight stops for a moment as a naked goblin sneaks across the arena grounds before jumping over the barrier and escaping. Typical football hooligan. The bandit blocks and deflects a hit from the pacifist bandit. A bandit gets a light stab on the pacifist bandit's chest, and he dies. We get our money back, and there we go. Fights are over. There are 3 fights left, but we don't need to watch them. All right, so now we've made some money. I'm going to go manage staff and champions and go back to head diplomat. We're going to train the diplomat, which is going to cost us 144 gold to do that. Let's go to the high general. We're going to train the general for 102. I'm going to go to recruit. We're going to hire peasants. There's 52 available. Let's hire 10. Or rather, 610 gold later, we've bought, let's hire 10 more. All right, so we've hired 20 soldiers. Nice, we've got a good number. I didn't do that intentionally, I swear. And we are going to end our first year in the realm of Aslona. As you prepare to move, your head diplomat approaches you and says, "My Supreme, are you sure you wish to move on? There isn't anything left to deal with that I can tell, but you may wish to wait." I wish to move on. We're gonna attack the rebels. Skirmish. We're gonna send half of my troops but no peasants. Yes, I would like to eat the blue tree fruit. You can only use a single barrel of the fruit with some to spare, as you don't have enough men to consume more than a barrel's worth. We'll use the barrel. Your men take the fruit and stuff their faces before battle. Oh, right, yeah, we did this. My cheese, do you wish to watch the battle take place, or just hear about it afterwards in the final reports? Yes, I wish to watch the battle. A cloudy sky adorns the battlefield. Do you wish to launch the attack, or wait a while in hope of a more favorable weather? Send my army forth. A cloudy sky adorns the battlefield before the two armies clash. No weather events during this battle due to calm weather. Beneath the cloud-marked sky, your army slowly marches to meet the opponent. Your army bursts into a simultaneous roar and charges for the enemy. In the midst of battles, someone farts, and a smell quickly engulfs a small portion of the battlefield and ceases the fighting for a moment while men wait for the stench to disperse. I guess that's why they call us the cheese. Yes, I do have to take it seriously that we are cheese. You manage to push forward quickly and penetrate the center. The breakthrough does a great deal of damage. We lose 18 soldiers and they lose 92 soldiers and 105 peasants. We continue fighting and you manage to push forward quickly and penetrate the center, and the breakthrough does a great deal of damage. The battle rages and a group of local hunters pass by and notice the fight, seeing your banner and shout, "For Quaesidonia!" and fire a volley of arrows at the rebels. You manage to push forward quickly and penetrate the center and break through and deal a great deal of damage. And the skirmish was a success, and your troops bask in glory in the name of Quaesidonia. Someone did. It wasn't me. Goat Swarm. Say the writer of this game, probably? The skirmish was a success, and your troops bask in glory in the name of Quaesidonia. With the battle over, you are brought a battle report showing troop losses and survivors. View the report. With the okay, the rebels lost a total of 366 troops in battle, and you have lost a total of 28 troops in battle, and so we're doing fine. We could also pay some egghead to create a fancy battle report with percentages, but I don't care to. And my cheese, we are under attack from the rebels. Do you wish to watch the battle take place? Yes, I have a total of 4,033 total men in 5 lands, and your men are spread equally across the lands, so 1,006 defenders guard this one. A foggy sky clouds the battlefield before the armies clash. Moderate likelihood of weather events during this battle. Plus 50% invasion defense battle strength bonus for you. Yay! Through the thick fog, the rebels charge towards the opposing charge forward, composed, and in formation. Oh, we already won. They had 12. I feel kind of bad. You know, if they don't have good Quaesidillas in Quaesidonia, I frankly think we should have our name removed. It's water break because we're in an ad break. And a stretch break. Fact. Stand up and stretch break. My back is cracked in like 8 places. With the Rebels bonuses, all I can hear is the voice actor from the original Star Wars Battlefront. The Rebels have chosen a garrison bonus. Yes, of course they have. Also, the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 is a great game. Yeah, the enemy was definitely unprepared for our might. You guys always make me do like the various starts where all my soldiers immediately desert, so I'm not used to actually having an army. I'm very used to like having nothing basically at the start and then just immediately getting eviscerated. Which is kind of weird actually, playing a start where I actually get an army. And in fact, this one gives you a decent sized one. All right.
Yeah!
The invading force of the rebels was stopped and put to death by your brave defenders. I can view the battle report. I mean, we won by a lot. We lost 12 troops, so it's good. My cheese, I receive word that the Tycat have marched on us. Do you wish to watch the battle? Sure. You have 1,003 dudes. Windy sky sweeps the battlefield before the two armies clash. Low likelihood of weather events during the battle. Through the strong winds, Tycat stop for a moment and then stomp forward. Okay, well, these ones are slightly stronger. but we killed a bajillion of them because they just have bandits and a couple of bandit warlords. These are we have all soldiers, so all of our dudes are way better. And we kill them as a strong wind rips across the battlefield and throws many of the combatants down. A skirmish was launched and we were victorious. We don't need to review the battle report. Now, you receive a report of the goings-on in the last year. You can read through them in detail and look at a more simplified version, or create and view your own custom report. We are going to choose a report to see automatically. I want to see the advanced report. As the past year fades, 166 dawns. The year 166 dawns, and with it comes a sweeping wind of stagnation. So, this is our report, Kingdom Report. We receive 125 gold in rent, 902 gold in gambling, 1,736 gold from general taxes. Everybody's favorite general is general taxes. And 1,595 gold from this year's harvest. Well, that's pretty good. 2 gold in interest from my stored gold in the bank. We enlisted 26 soldiers from 5 lands, and your knights trained 20 peasants into soldiers. We paid some money in wages, mostly to my soldiers. Diplomat training has increased by 5, and correct the dastard's skill increased by 2. Ebony raiders attempt to raid you, but end up getting chased off by angry peasants. Your defense palisades managed to prevent 4 raids from happening. Wow, it's a good thing we have those. And your militia recruits 69 nice new peasants this year. Quaesidonia skirmish with rebels and 1. Okay, your treasury has increased by 2,016 gold. And now we begin turn 2. So now you've basically seen all of this game. Aside from that, this time we only have 1 visitor in the throne room because we're no longer exciting and new. So let's see what our 1 visitor is. You are visited by a goblin who brought a gift and says, "I am one who speaks for goblins. You are loved for your kindness. Please accept this box contains crudely woven doll made of flax. This item is worth 2 gold coins." I will accept the item as 2 gold. Take the item and it is added to your treasury as 2 gold. Thank you, Billy Crystal. Did I really sound like Billy Crystal? I refuse to believe that. There is no one here. Sit here and ponder. You sit here for a moment and close your eyes. All right. Now that we're done sitting and pondering, we can try and make some money. Let's go and manage staff and champions. Let's try and hire a new spy master. 3 potential spy masters are sent to your court. You may speak to each of them to learn their skills and talents. Gonmore the Wind Rider. Hello. Oh yeah, everybody wears hats now. Hello, my name is Gonmore the Wind Rider. I am highly regarded amongst kings and queens for my work. I was born ready to work for you, and I expect a payment of 98 gold per year. All right. It's cheap. He's got decent skill. Hello, I am Tybalt Moonborn. I'm really good at hide and seek, and I've always been a supporter of your family. I expect payment of 106 gold per year. Well, okay. And then add on the Kraken Slayer, as in a bottle of Kraken. I am sought after by many rulers. Please hire me. I'm very poor right now. I request a pay of 107 gold per year. All right, so I think add on the Kraken Slayer is probably what we go for. It's got the highest skill by a lot. He did slay a Kraken, clearly. I call nonsense. Which one? That was Tybalt? Yeah, no, you're right. We are, in fact, an ex-slave. So I do, in fact, call bullshit. Also, he's got the worst skills, so we're going to hire add-on the Kraken Slayer. There we go. We now have a spy master. Let's go explore. And let's go to the Northern Lands, because we can visit the ruins of the Slaver's Fort. You visit the ruins of the old slavers' fort, a large institution that once held thousands in chains, now nothing more than a charred wood and a few crumbling walls. Well, let's explore. We find the black market. You overhear two men arguing over if the brawl pit or fighter's pit are better. Soon they turn into trading blows. We can watch them fight. So this is Odar Wind Dancer and Gwaithim the Goblin Bone Lancer. The Goblin Bone Lancer swings and misses the opponent. Odar lands a punch on the opponent, swings and misses, bone shattering punch. Lands a punch on the opponent, bone shattering punch. Wow, they are both dying pretty quickly. I mean, just slap, 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 slap. And the fighting is finally over, and the winner of the fight is Gerthin the Bone Lancer. We could ask him to become one of our champions or leave. Should we ask him to become one of our champions? Which means, will you please join our faction and then die in the fight pit? Probably. All right, we'll ask him to be one of our champions. 330 gold? I refuse to pay him. Congratulate the fighter and leave. We're going to keep exploring. You wander across a patch of barren land that could be more arable if you had means to terraform it. Find a barren land. All right, let's go to the black market. You find a bustling market with all kinds of shady activities taking place. There are many strange wares and services being offered all over under the guard of a hardened group of local bandits and thieves. So this area is interesting, okay? It's interesting because there's a lot going on in here. Each of these zones has more zones, and a lot of them have more zones, okay? And a lot of them have quests and various other things. Wait, what? What was that? And various other things that could happen. So we kind of need to be a little bit careful, but we can make some pretty cool things happen. Like we pass into the Black Row and see a strange cloaked figure staring at the Monument of Kings for a moment before shifting away. Friend too expensive, unfortunately, yes. Can't afford friend. Just like real life. We're going to speak to a random local. If you don't want trouble, avoid the slums, Dark Row, Black Row, the Fighters District, the Central District, and basically keep out of the Guild Row. Got it. We'll visit the strange building. These strange ruins seem recent. Let's go to the Raging Bookshop. You enter a strange, dirty bookshop tucked away in the deep recess of Black Row. Inside is a calm-looking man sat in a small chair reading a book. The place itself looks almost in ruin, with destroyed bookshelves and pieces of paper and torn books lining the floors in every direction. Speak to the man. Approach the man, who looks up and says, "Welcome. What do you want? Who are you?" "I'm the one they call Book Rage." "What happened here?" "I believe I destroyed my books in a fit of rage." "Does anyone come here?" "Not really. Black Row's dead." "What do you do here?" "Well, I often help with construction. Sometimes the local wealthy folk come to me for advice. I have good ideas and a sharp mind. I just sometimes fly into fits of rage and destroy books. What can I say?" Well, all right then. Let's go to the abandoned shack. You visit the small, semi-burned-out shack nestled among the ruin of Black Row. It's not always ruined in here. Sometimes, you can actually get shit. You enter the ruined house and see a bloodied head on the floor and a large skull mark the door. And the smell of the room is awful and you can't stay for long. Let's try the door. Try to open the door, but it requires a key. Press any key to continue. I was really hoping that would be a keyboard pun. I'm very disappointed. We investigate the head on the bloodied head on the floor, and it seems that the head is covered in scratches. It appears half-eaten with a large chunk of skull and all missing from the head. The smell is awful. You can't stay for long. Let's try the door again. It requires a key. Well, interesting. If we find a key, we have to go to the abandoned shack. Let's go to the building with a skull painted on it. It's my home, clearly. You enter the building with a red oval painted on it, and you are met by a group of bald men in robes. They seem to be surprised by your visit, but welcome you. And the room is dusty and seems like it has been long abandoned until recently. And in the center of the room is a book on a pedestal. Speak to the leader of the group. You approach the man who appears to be the leader, and he says, "Welcome to Doomhall, home of the Brotherhood of the Doomstone." Who are you? I am unknowable. What is the Doomhall? A structure of worship. What is the Doomstone? A magical stone far into the wild north, a sacred place. What do you do here? We believe in the Holy Doomstone. We believe the stone holds the truth of the world, and we sit with it and hear its secrets. Ah, a cult. Let's speak to a random member. The other men in the room are silent and refuse to speak to you. You can read the book on the pedestal. 1. Always listen to the words of the stone. 2. Never question its teachings. 3. These who would threaten the stone shall be beheaded. 4. These who would abandon the cause shall be beheaded. 5. These who are late to meetings shall be beheaded. 6. With a name that starts, those with the name that starts with the letter P shall be beheaded. First name or last name? It's a lot of beheading, yeah. Those who worship other stones shall be beheaded. Sorry, stone. Those who, is there anybody in chat with a name that starts with the letter P? There has to be. Those who worship other stones shall be beheaded. Those who behead without confirmation from the Grand Brother shall be beheaded. And those who ask to be beheaded shall be... Your mom's name is Patricia? I'm sorry. That's funny. Okay. That's a funny bit. We'll visit the strange building. All right, that's the strange building. Let's visit the ruins of the old prison. You approach the ruins of the old prison, and you can hear screeches from within. You enter, and you enter the ruins to discover a man sat in a crude stone throne, drunkenly cheering and watching monsters fight. Let's watch the monsters fight. 2 creatures burst out from the shadows and begin growling and hissing at each other. The first monster's cage opens, and it enters the room. This monster is has a small three-eyed head and a thick, sharp mane, and it has a stacked body with 2 pairs of thick, muscular arms and some small, stubby legs. That's a weird-looking dude. The second monster... Sorry, I had to just look at that thing for a second. Yeah, don't worship the stone throne, okay? No heads for the stone throne. The second monster's cage opens and enters the room. This monster has a fat rectangular head with closed eyes and sharp teeth, and a small dog-like body with small sharp toenails. With the creatures free, the fight is on. The first monster tries to bite the opponent but misses. The second monster catches the opponent with its teeth. The first monster bites the opponent really hard. The second monster tries to bite the opponent but misses. The first monster lands a punch on the opponent. The second monster bites the opponent really hard and then lands a kick on the opponent. The first monster lands a punch on the opponent. The second monster lands a bone-shattering kick on the opponent. The first monster lands a punch on the opponent. The second monster tries to bite the opponent but misses. How do you miss a bite? The first monster lands a punch on the opponent. The second monster lands a kick on the opponent. The first muncher manages to munch the opponent. We'll go with it. The second monster bites the opponent and really hard. And the first monster tries to bite the opponent but misses. The second monster tries to bite the opponent. Okay, this is just like going back and forth. Let's see where this goes. And the first monster lands a punch on the opponent and kills the enemy, and the second monster drops dead. And the first fierce battle is over, and one monster lies dead, and the first monster survives to live another day. Well, that was amazing. Time for another. Let's speak to the man. You approach the drunk man, and he sees you and says, "Greetings, a fellow Mon fan? Who are you?" Cirque. What are you doing here? Getting drunk and watching my monsters fight each other to death. Just a regular day, really. Do you always do this alone? If I can help it, you're welcome to join. What is this place? This is the old prison. In the old days of the market, it held the worst criminals, and it is feared by all, and heavily guarded. One day, a local fool who sought to be king of the market set them all free, and he was quickly killed by the escapees, and they took the market for themselves. I think this is a Pokemon reference, yeah. Where do you get these monsters? Tall grass, dark caves, the deepest depths of the underworld, wherever I can find them, really. There you go, Pokemon reference. What led you to doing this? Well, I always loved monster fighting. I've always worked as a traveling merchant for a long time. I figure now is the time for fun. Why do the monsters fight? The same reason anyone fights. 3 L's, my friend. Loot, land, and glory. Glory. Right, loot, land, and glory. Oh, gotcha. Let's go to the Monument of Kings. You approach the place known as the Monument of Kings, the monument that marks all of those who have ruled the black market over its years. We're going to read the names. Zilz, the Old King, Old Nethalos, the Legendary, and Sir Eidolon the Merciless. Oops. Let's go back to the Monument of Kings. I can destroy the monument. Allegory. Yeah, I get it. You see? Mm-hmm. Should I destroy it, chat? We do free slaves. What could go wrong? Oh. You say the word and the timeless monument is destroyed. Many locals are outraged to see it as an attack on their heritage. You approach the place known as the Monument of Kings. The monument was destroyed, much to the sadness of the locals. Well, we can visit some burned shacks. You approach some charred ruins of some homes burned down during the Purge, and the shadow of assassins of the black market. It is unknown who lived here, but it is believed that the ruins are cursed. Let's visit the Black Alley. You approach a place known as the Black Alley. The alleyway is said to have been cursed by a great evil that once rested here. It is believed any who enter the darkness of the alleyway are never seen again. Walk through the alley. You enter the alleyway and see darkness. Not the lack of light, but true darkness. The thing that rests in the alleyway is not a monster, not a demon, but the truest incarnation of darkness itself, pure darkness, a force that shouldn't exist. You are terrified, but it's too late, and you are frozen as every inch of your body screams out as an instant of pain. But you are pushed from the alleyway and hear a voice, "No," in a manner almost as though it was scolding you. All right. You enter the dark, dank house filled horribly, and find a horribly aged old man with huge red and black eyes that make him seem sinisterly inhuman. He tells you that he can summon demons from the demon gate to serve you, for a fee, of course. Demons are really strong. Yeah, the game's got colored graphics all of a sudden. If you actually can, that's pretty good. He chants some words that have not been said in centuries, in several long-dead languages, and before you know it, you are standing outside the hut. To the left of you, a demonic towering beast stands from behind the hut. A cloak is thrown over the beast to hide its horrific form. Locals to form from the locals to prevent panic. Behold, a demon now serves you. Can I do that again? Oh, really? I can't. Oh, wow, I can't go back there. You approach where you remember this house with the X marked on it, but it is no longer there. And you feel as though some trickery is at play and assume to return at another time. Let's visit the old Shadow Assassin's Den. You approach the ruins of the Shadow Assassin's Den, once a hub of death. Even in the Black Row, they were unwelcome, killing men of all levels of power. The struggles this caused almost destroyed the black market, but the black market decided to destroy them, and you hear whispers within. Visit the demon hunter's den. Have you seen any demons? No. You approached the ruins of the demon hunters guild as a group that were dedicated to the eradicating of demon influence. They didn't last long. We enter the black market slavers, and you enter the dingy sewers of the black sewers. Not, and wants to have a small dungeon network now funnels the waste of the black market, and it is littered with skulls, bones, and urine. Well, obviously, we're going to speak to a local mutant. What happened to your face? Blug, 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 he says. Speak with another local mutant. I get really sad when people cancel plans. It makes my feelings hurt, and it makes me feel alone. Maybe I deserve it. Did I ignore someone else in their time of waiting for me? I don't know. But gods, I want out of these sewers. Rats are chasing me. Speak with the ancient door. You approach the ancient door, towering and magnificent ancient door nested among the sewer wall, and it seems far more advanced than all that surrounds it. A great deal older than anything you've seen. The door has what seems like a combination in the front of it. Let's look at the combination lock. You look at the combination and have to enter a 5-number long answer. What will you enter? 5 number. Chat, what 5 numbers do we enter? Everybody's saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6. No 6 9s? Come on. 1, 2. Wait, that's 1, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Combination has no result. Let's go to the rat racing pen. You spot a group of sewer scum betting on their small amounts of gold on rat races. A strange, simple, but it looks fun. There are 2 rats ready to race, one painted red and one painted blue. Which do we bet on? Chat, red or blue? I could actually figure out what the combination lock for that is by just simply opening up the save file, but Red is fast color. I'm right. Yeah, I agree with that. We're betting on red. Blue wins, we lost. Let's bet on red again. Yeah, red wins, we win. Bet on red again. It's a tie. All bets are off. Well, come on, red. Red's failing us. Red's pretty slow. I'm gonna stop betting now. We're gonna bet on blue. Red's gonna win now. Fuck you, game. Okay, it's rigged. What's marathon mode? Let's bet on red. Lap 1, 2, 3. Oh. Come on, red. Pick it up, buddy. You can. I think it's rigged. All right. Well, going to the blue tree patch. You approach a small patch of blue tree fruit growing in the dirt that lines the sides of the sewers. Pick a fruit. You pick the 2 blue tree fruits. I'm gonna visit the dirt den. I can drink an ale. You pay 4 for the gold, and Pargaro Blarglossen pours an ale. You thoroughly enjoy the ale, and you can't tell what, but something about it really hits the spot, and you consider it one of the nicer drinks you've had. I'm going to speak with the bartender. You approach the bartender, a mutant named Pargo, and he says, "Hello, I am Pargo." And then he stares at you for a while and says, "Hello, I'm..." Fuck me. Who are you? I am Pargo. Hello. What do you know about the black market? Black market? I don't know, but I am Pargo. How did this tavern come to be? I am Pargo. My father is Blargo. Sold ale here. Now I do too. Where do you get your ale? I trade arms. I'm an arms merchant. I don't know for what, but the above grounders want with shedded mutant arms. But they seem to enjoy them. Some merchants even use them as a substitute meat when they run out of good stuff. By the way, did I tell you I am Pargo? He sells arms for mutants that no longer need them. What kind of name is Pargo? A good one. He smiled that time. Look, see, he smiles. That is a beheading, yes. Pargo is in fact a beheading. Let's speak with a random patron. Yeah, just go, okay. Let's speak to the scone seller. You approach a strange red creature selling some kind of pastry, and they say, "Hey, you buying a fire scone or what?" "I will buy a fire scone." You hand a gold coin and get given a strange smelling pastry that's on fire. You put out the fire and then try to eat the scone. It tastes burnt and horrible. Who are you? "I don't have a name. Locals call me Tomato." "What are you?" "I don't know. Mutant, goblin, sentient vegetable, take your pick. Your guess is as good as mine." "What's a fire scone?" I think the developer meant scones, but fire scones, they're like normal scones, but hot and fiery. "Hello, Fourth Wall. Nice to meet you. What do you know about Pargo the bartender?" "I can tell you that I sometimes mix up his nostrils for eyes, and he's armless, but he can't go 5 minutes without reminding you about his stupid name." What are you doing here?" "Selling fire scones. What does it look like, idiot?" Can you tell me anything about the sewers?" "Yeah. Don't ever Okay, well, I need to go try it now just to see what happens, right? Don't ever type boobies into the door down at the bottom of the sewer walk. It doesn't unlock it. I 100% need to go try it. I would just like to remind everybody that this is one of this is one of the greatest games ever made. Just this will never win any awards. No one's ever gonna really know that this game exists, but holy fuck, this stupid thing is good. It's absolute fucking magic. Oh. This game is written. Yep. Well, let's go right boobies into the door, shall we? Is it the ancient door? It wasn't lying. All right, well, there's still one other spot we can go to, which is the Black Market Tavern. We feel a light buzz because we've been drinking. You enter the Black Road Tavern, one of the surprisingly less seedy places in the worst part of an already questionable settlement. The wooden bar is so high you can barely see over it, and its front stands a large ogre who appears to be its bartender. The tavern is relatively calm considering its location. However, it's still rife with shady activity and filled with strange and seedy folk. A cloaked man sits alone. We will have a drink. We'll have the local northern ale. You pay 1 gold, and Oglob the ogre pours you an ale. The ale doesn't taste very good at all. You almost struggle to finish it. We now feel a buzz. We're going to have a drink of Oglub's Special Brew. You pay 3 gold for Oglub's Special Brew, and he pulls out a mug and fills it with a strange broth filled with strange bits, and some kind of hairy piece of skin. You drink the drink and find it to be unpleasant, but not horrible. You lift your arm from the bar and notice you've rested it on a sticky patch. What a sticky situation. We're going to speak with the bartender. Or the bartend slur. Oh, there's no 1 in boobies? Well, hold on. Sewers, 7, 1. Ah. The combination you enter has no result, but you hear a deep voice come from seemingly nowhere. Noise. Okay, now I want to try something else. Oh. Just says noise. All right, let's go back to the tavern. And speaking with the bartender. You approach the bartender, and it's a strange man who identifies himself as Oglub and says, "Don't worry, I know I'm an ogre, so don't mention it." Who are you? My name is Oglub. I am an ogre. I own this bar with earnings I made as a warrior for hire. This is just about the only place I could set up the bar, as you can imagine. Any other questions? Who runs the black market? The black market is run by the de facto leader, Aloren, the Warlike. He is a warlord as well, an ex-warlord. Now he runs this place. A ruthless warlord at one time, though. Can you tell me about the black market? The black market is a giant snail. It's a giant nail in the side of authority and rule. It's good, it's different, and it allows many to be themselves. That said, there is much evil here, and it doesn't need to hide so well in the shadows. A place of mixed blessings for certain, but I mostly enjoy my time here. Can you tell me about Dokro? It smells like salt, and it's full of semen and gulls. Not a great place, and I hate pirates. Still, the pirates do make it for this far. Still, when the pirates do make it this far, they drink well, and that's all that matters to me, I suppose. Are there many other ogres here? Aye. I know that there's one in the Black Opal docked in Dokro. Aside from that, I see occasional mercenary troops pass through with an ogre or two. They are always surprised to see one of their kin running a bar. What's with the statue in the corner? That old thing? Statue of a man called Makanamara, the Stargazer. He was one of the founding bandits who formed the modern black market, posed for statues and busts so frequently that they began calling him the Poser. It wasn't long before they stopped calling him that on account of him cutting their tongues off. I also heard he was good at playing the banjo, so not sure how much truth there is to that, though. Well, he's dead now anyways. What do you have? What's that drink you have on tap? Well, we've got regular ale and something I've been brewing myself. I haven't had a lot of takers, but this drink is so strong it'll knock dwarfs' beards off. Damn. The bar here is a little big, isn't it? Nope. This is a standard ogre bar. It's just I'm here serving all you peewee baby humans. We're going to speak with the cloaked man. You approach, and he turns his head to greet you quietly, and he speaks, "Do you chase the shadows?" Chat, do we chase the shadows? How did Orange lie to you, Elfie? Yes, I guess we chase that. Bring the growth of the sewers to the old shadow, and to the grave of kings, and should a great pile of 10,000 crowns burn, we shall be happy. The man grins and then gets up and seemingly disappears into a crowd of tavern goers. Let's speak to the local slaver. A shady man with a cloak over his head offers to sell you some slaves, 6 gold per head. 152 slaves per sale. Speak to the shady man. The man grunts at the request and returns to asking if you're going to buy slaves or not. I want to kill him. We're going to read the silver plaque. You approach a silver plaque that shows an image of a left ear, a right ear, and a set of spiky hair, and a star. It's a strange plaque with no writing at all. Okay. We could play 12. We could watch a ball, speak to a random patron. Stand back and look at the large bar. That is a very large bar. Oglub the Orger stands tall next to the giant bar. A nearby local drinker makes it clear just how tall the bar is, higher up than his head, and a strange bar full of customers with crooked necks. Hobo wants to watch. Let's just go back and do the arena stuff. Because there's a lot of stuff we can do in there. Although first I want to go to Dock Row. As you pass into Dock Row, you see a drunk man stumble along the docks and fall straight into the water. He quickly climbs out, and many dock workers are laughing. We're going to visit the East Dock Company. And we're going to speak with the company master. Well, actually, hold up. We're going to investigate the crates. You discover a hideout. Ooh. You enter the den and see a group of 9 kids staring at you, and their leader approaches. I'm Gothar the Boyu. What do you want, senor? That's fucking fantastic. Who are you? Speak to a random child. You will not pickpocket people anymore. This group is over. Stop pickpocketing people and I'll give you a shiny gold. Stop pickpocketing people and I'll give you 10 shiny gold. Guards, thieves. There's a gang of thieves here. Who are you? We are underage Baxer. We take coins and money from people in secret. Carry on, kids. You enter the East Dock Company headquarters, a well-decorated building with barrels of goods from all corners of the realm. You notice a pile of dusty crates that appear nailed together. Yes. I speak with the company master. You approach the company master who tells you his name is Arondair and ask what you would like. Tell me about shipping ventures. We can help facilitate a shipping venture. If it succeeds, we can bring great riches. I see. Arrange a shipping venture. You are given a list of options for potential ventures. Let's trade Orcish Ale. Now we're going to back all the way to home. Round of beers, chat, for the Orcish Ale. Hopefully that succeeds. We are going to go bet in the arena. Hobo's favorite part. Who's our grand champion? Ingildeb Dwarfson is the current Grand Champion of Quaesidonia. He currently has won a single fight, earning him the title of Grand Champion and hopes to prove himself and defend this title in his first defense. We're to look at his stats. The strength of 135. That's not great, but we're going to bet on him. Who would you like to bet on? Dwarf Son, our champion, or Sir Wolf, the Titan of Swords? That seems a lot scarier than Dwarf Son. I'm going to bet on the Titan of Swords. And I'm going to be a little bit careful with this, so we'll just do 500. The crowd chants in near unison while fighters emerge from the gates and pace towards each other's weapons in hand. The crowd roars and the fighters near each other and the fight begins. Okay, so we pick the guy with more health. Dwarf Son swings at Sir Wolf, the Titan of Swords, but misses by mere inches. Dwarf Son gets hit pretty hard by the Titan of Swords and hurts him quite badly. Dwarf Son misses a swing and slips, and then Titan of Swords strikes the Dwarf Son in the head with an incredible force and hits him again and yet again. And then Sir Wolf, the Titan of Swords, shouts, "Come on, you plague-ridden fleabag, let's end this!" And Dwarf Son strikes Sir Wolf as hard as possible, but Sir Wolf hits him a little bit and kicks him. And then swings and stabs Idgehop, Dwarf Son. And the Titan of Swords is our new champion. Dwarf Son is now a lifeless corpse, and the mighty grand champion is no more. Long live the new champion. Let's see his new stats. 224, good. Yeah, no, that's very true with this game. Bet on the person with the coolest sounding name. Okay, so we have this duder now, and I want some money. 13 feet. Ooh, okay, so I'm just going to bet on the Eldritch Spark Orcish Warrior because I know for fact this dude is significantly stronger than the Action Armored Impling. I'm going to bet 2,700 gold. The crowd screams and the crowd echoes all around as the fighters emerge from the gates and they stride closer and horns blow. Yeah, the Eldritch Spark Orcish Warrior flicks off the armored Impling's attempt to hit him and returns with a swift blow. Then the Eldritch Spark Orcish Warrior kicks the Action Armored Impling back hard. The Action Armored Impling falls lifeless from the kick. The crowd begins to chanting, "Kill Eldritch Spark Warrior." The Eldritch Spark Warrior blocks several hits from the Action Armored Impling and then hits him for 102 damage. I'm surprised he lasted more than one, to be honest. The Action Armored Limpling has given his life for the arena. All right, so we won some monies. Huh. Okay, so I'm gonna bet on the Eldritch Spark Orc because the other one's a pacifist. I'm gonna bet 4,100. Crowd roars as the two fighters emerge from either end of the arena. Holy shit. Pacifist Eldritch Spark champion looks around a little concerned. Pacifist Eldritch Spark Orcish champion looks around a little concerned. Pacifist Eldritch Spark Orcish champion says, "I honestly have no idea how I ended up here. I'm a pacifist." As the pacifist stands idle, an angry crowd member leaps forward and stabs the pacifist Eldritch Spark Orcish champion in the head and then turns to the crowd and says, "What? Someone had to do something," before running off. And we won. Is a god? Like, wait, actually is a god? Pacifist Eldritch Spark Orcish champion is defeated and will never fight nor breathe again. And the crowd cheers for the Eldritch Spark Orc, the mighty victor. What, the dude that just did 1,700 damage for him? Yeah, I mean, yes, this is true. So now we have a lesser ogre or a bandit warlord. Blood, 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 money. No one else here listens to dope. No one knows that reference. I hope not, anyway. Ogre, lesser ogre? Okay. Tall guy. Let's bet the 200 because that's all they have left. Yada, yada, yada. Gates open. Ooh. Okay. The crowd cheered loudly for the bandit warlord. The lesser ogre swings, wildly hitting nothing. The Lesser Ogre and Bandit Warlord get caught in a parry, and the Lesser Ogre breaks the parry, instantly gets a sharp blow. The Bandit Warlord swings and lightly and gets a good hit on the Ogre. The Bandit Warlord gets a light hit on the Ogre. The Bandit Warlord gets a hit on the Lesser Ogre, and we lose. Well, I can do one more. Masked Over Champion or a Mutilated Action Impling. Well, obviously we're going with the Action Impling, or not the Action Impling, the Ogre. We're gonna bet 400. Holy sh! Dude's got 1 HP, guys. The Masked Ogre Champion turns and grins at the crowd.
Extreme overkill.
And the Masked Ogre Champion gets a devastatingly solid hit on the Mutilated Action Impling. All right. Well, we won some money, so that's good. I guess we're going to end the year. I shall move on. We're going to attack the rebels again. We're going to raid. Send half of my troops, but no peasants. And, wow. The Spymaster add-on Kraken Slayer says, I've done some spying and arranged some battle reports for you, my cheese. We have bigger number than they do, so that's good. Good, let's crush them. No. What? I thought I said don't eat them. Oh, whatever. I guess I hit the wrong button. My cheese, do you wish to watch the battle? Yes. A strange luminous fog surrounds the battlefield. Do you wish to launch the battle and attack, or wait a while and hope for more favorable weather? We will wait a while and hope for more favorable weather. After waiting for a while, the weather changes and your troops prepare for a great storm clouds and the battlefield before a great storm clouds the battlefield before the two armies clash. Moderate likelihood of weather events during the battle and plus 25 raid defense strength and bonus for the rebels. Beneath the violent storm, your army marches tearfully to meet the enemy. Several of your men turn around and reveal their behinds to taunt the enemy and laugh, and we get plus 1% initial battle bonus strength. This is not a fair fight. The two armies fight, but neither seems to gain the upper hand. We lose 2 soldiers, they lose 3. In the midst of the fighting, a small man climbs atop a rock and plays a trumpet. You feign a withdrawal and manage to get the rebels to move out of the better position before turning back and attacking. Wow, and we won. We get 577 gold from the rebels, and the rebels hate us slightly more. The raid was a success, and your troops begin to loot every single coin they can get their hands on. Rebels gonna be gone at this rate? That'd be good. You open a chest and find a stone tablet inscribed with texts from several dead languages inside, and it's worth 150 gold coins, 2 chests remaining. Surprise mechanics, chat. You open a chest and find a jeweled obsidian smoking pipe inside. Nice. It's worth 200 gold coins, 1 remaining. You open the chest and find a dice made of diamond inside. It's worth 400 gold coins. With the battle over, you are brought a battle report showing troops' losses. We take a peek. Well, we won. And, my cheese, the dastardly bandits are attacking us. Do you wish to watch the battle take place? Yes. You have 4,000, we have 1,003 troops for this battle. A full moon adorns the battlefield before the armies clash. No weather offense, plus 125% defense battle bonus for you. Under the starry sky, the bandits charge forwards at an incredibly aggressive manner, and they get a 3% bonus. We have a much larger army than they do, but that's still kind of scary. So we do lose some peasants and some soldiers and 1 goblin. Rest in peace, goblin. Chat, can I get a round of beers for this army as good luck? You push forward and outflank the bandits, but still no one side seems to have the upper hand. The bandits manage to break through your center before forcing the army back. You break through the lines and manage to push the bandits back a little. In the midst of chaos, a small whistling sound can be heard, and then suddenly a blob of slime crashes down onto the battlefield. It's unclear where it came from, but it hits hard. Okay. the bandits manage to... Ooh, I'm actually kind of losing a lot. The bandits manage to push forward quickly and penetrate the center, and the breakthrough does a great deal of damage. The bandits manage to push your forces back a little bit before slightly outfighting them. Okay, now we're getting a little bit better. You fight towards and gain a good advantage, managing to overrun the bandits. You manage to break through the bandits' center forces, pushing them back. The bandits fight forward and gain some marginal sound over your forces. And the bandits feign withdrawal and manage to get you to move out of the better position before turning back and attacking. The bandits manage to push forward slightly and penetrate the center and break through and deal a great deal of damage. That is a great deal of damage. That was pretty heavy losses. Yeah, we got them. Your fight forward and gain a small advantage over the bandits, and we win. The raiding force of the bandits were defeated in the name of Quaesidonia. I'm gonna pay some egghead to give us numbers. Greetings, I am some egghead. Thank you for the gold. There's a total of 12 phases in the battle. 34% survived the battle. Your army was 100.6% bigger than the enemy force. There was 1 random events and 0 champion events, and your army lost 30% more troops than the enemy. That is bad. Kill the egghead. -1 relation. You can no longer pay for egghead reports. That's funny. I had no idea that they would do that. But anyway, we executed the egghead. So let's stop viewing battle reports. Spymaster, my cheese. My spies have learned of a fight between communities of Ren and Krut. Do you wish to watch it? Sure, why not? Cloudy night sky adorns the battlefield, so this is not us fighting. Under the starry communities, the communities of Ren, these are the action implings, line up and begin sticking out their tongues and mocking the defenders. So the Krut fight forward and gain a good advantage, managing to overrun the communities of Ren. Okay, so it's the goblins killing the action implings, who frankly I should side with. We're gonna scroll all the way up to the top of this and see the Eastdock Company of the Orcish Ale. Hey, our investment worked. Thank you for the beers. We clearly have good stuff. We make 6,800 gold. You receive 68 gold in rents from your 5 lands, 322 from gambling tax, 1,063 from general taxes, and your peasants earn you 2,213 gold from this year's harvest. You earn 2 gold in interest on your tiny amount of gold in the bank. You enlist 16 soldiers from your 5 lands. 20 peasants turn into soldiers, and a group of 10 soldiers are killed in a tavern in the outskirts of the lands for wearing your banner. Cool. People don't like me. We pay a bunch of money in wages, mostly to our soldiers, but less because a bunch of them died. And Valkur's band fight with a Quaesidonia patrol, but lose. All right. Rebels enlist 24 soldiers from their 2 lands. Communities of Ren get defeated. Your treasury is increased. Sweet. With the old year faded, in the year 167 has begun, and with it comes a strange rambling that yet distant terrors stir. All right, chat. I think it's time to save. We're gonna choose the name for this. It's gonna be Cheese. Cheese is now saved. And with that, I think it's time for us to say goodbye, YouTube. For everyone, Sage Bitey. If I could get a big round of goodbye, YouTube, and then we're going to be signing off for the night, I think. So I guess the other question is, chat, what do you think of Warsim? Now that you've experienced a very small taste of the stupid that this game has to offer. I'm gonna go grab the record, and we're gonna put on some tunes, and then we're gonna say goodbye for the night. Surprisingly fun. It's one of those things that it's just like, this is going to suck. Like, nothing about this looks particularly interesting, and then you start playing, and you're like, okay, game, I understand you.